Alright, this video is being recorded in reference to the presidential election in 2016 between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and the vice presidents. And if you notice, this comment is off my blog, but it still goes hand in hand with the direction of the election, how I'm able to forecast the election before they actually make the results. I did it 2 times before, and this is the 3rd election that I'm doing it on. But the strange thing about it is it's been like this for years. When gold goes up, the dollar usually sells. Those are the statistics. Commodities versus currencies. When the dollar goes down, of course, that's in results to recessions or inflation, where prices of things could be too high. Either one of those. And then what happens is there's usually a Republican candidate or a president in office at that time, because the Republicans usually send their jobs overseas, which is in a way decreases the value of the dollar, but it creates new businesses overseas, which is how they get paid through technology. Now, the Democrats, they deal with welfare. They handle education. That's why the technology is in the United States. So the Democrats, when they're in office, the value of the dollar goes up because they give it directly to those with the technology. And the technology sector supports the United States dollar along with the healthcare sector. So since it's all about everybody being healthy, it's mostly now being focused, because through the healthcare reform that shows that, it's now being focused on technology. Now check this out. This is what I was saying. Now look at this. I said this a while back. I have it on my blog. As you see, that was dated back in August 9th. I even sent it out on certain Twitter pages. So the technology sector is actually decreased today, which in return weakens the dollar. So when you look, I'm going to get back to the dollar part in a second. Election jitters. And it just shows exactly what I'm talking about. If you look in the notes, you can see that it says, quote from E-Trade site, a joint poll conducted by ABC News and the Washington Post had investors on the defensive side as Republican nominee Donald Trump took a slight edge over Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton, unquote. So what I'm saying is, then if you look down, you can see what it might do to the military. This is how I evaluate it. You can see the CBOE volatility index is actually up. So if you look up what that is, that's a form of raising investment into the military, which Republicans do. Republicans, like when Bush was in office, we went to war. So the Republicans actually put their money, I guess, like they say, where their mouth is, we're fighting or going towards, whatever their cause is for. So you can see that gold is starting to go back up, which shows us on a 60-day scale. It's starting to go back up. So it could still be a very close race, because if you look at the whole year, that's how much gold has went up. But if you look at since August 9th, when I reevaluated it, because I made other calls still from the buy on gold from like 1,200, 1,100 area on my blog, and that's where it actually bottomed at. Then, if you notice, let me see if I can make this a bigger chart. I doubt it. No. Okay. So, from August 9th, the markets were actually going down on gold. It's actually recovering now. But my initial trade was still near 1,100 on the call that I made. And then now it's a good possibility. So when gold keeps going up like this, that's showing strong candidacy for a Republican to be president. When Obama is in office, the dollar, or the Democrat is in office, the dollar goes up. And as you see, gold sells. But look, right at the start of 2016, you can classify that as the election year, which it actually is. It started to go back up, which shows strong signs for a Democratic nominee. I mean, a Republican nominee, excuse me. So if you look at the high on this chart to the far right, I can't zoom in, so that's why I'm just talking over it. The high is around 1,300, probably higher than that. So if you look back to the left, 1,300, the performance of Obama's second campaign went down to the performance of a Republican campaign by $300. So with $300 going in that direction, that allowed their losses allowed the Republicans to gain 300. So if he can maintain 300 above the low, which is like 1,100, get over 1,400, more likely it's going to be a strong campaign towards the Republicans. So 1,300, 1,400 is the area that'll be good to maintain over for them to maintain that lead. And like I said, since August 9th, I was looking for gold to go back up. And as you see, to maintain the buy trend, Amazon had its ups and downs on its trade direction. Jobs usually deal with Democrats. And as you can see, it's actually lower than the area I was looking at now, a few months ago. So August, that's what, 3 months? August to September, October, November. 3 months. Or less than 3 months, actually. And the non-farm numbers came out, the ADP non-farm numbers, they came out, and it's actually weak on a dollar. And that makes the value of gold go up also. So with those numbers being observed, that's just a form of processing. And if that makes the dollar go down also, it evaluates the corporations from around 400,000 customers. And that's one examination for that. And tomorrow, trying to see if there's any more news for tomorrow. The non-farm news will be tomorrow, so I'm waiting for it to scroll over. It's acting all weird. Actually, it's Friday. And they're forecasting it to go up, which could strengthen the dollar. But if it's already had a process where it's going down, and it's still been going down regardless through the month, then where would the dollar be evaluated as going? And that's the evaluation of the election. As you see, I don't know the points or the numbers or the stats of the points for the election. So it's not like I'm looking all that up and coming back making a video. I posted this stuff a while back, but it actually goes in correlation with it. So that's all I have to say on that one. You have a blessed one.